All right, this is the Bachelor podcast, and you're listening to episode 22.
Welcome to the Geo Bachelor podcast, a show about everything but nothing at the same time. Two guys that took jobs away from their families and living the Geo Bachelor lifestyle.
All right, good afternoon, Dwayne.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much, had the old cut done, so got that over with.
So what did you actually have done? I mean, I know you had shoulder surgery, but what?
It was an anterior labral repair, so they repaired all the way around. I got fancy little pictures too. I might show you later of what they did. They pretty much went here, or I know you can't see, but up on the top of the shoulder, and then in the back is the two incisions that they made.
How big are the incisions? Because
I actually haven't seen them.
you're still wearing bandages?
Yeah, today technically, or tomorrow. I figured I'd wait till tomorrow. I'll pull them off, because I don't know. That sling's like right on the bandage, so I don't know.
Well, I got about a 3 or 4 inch cut on the front of my shoulder where I had surgery, and then they went in and on the backside and they scoped it in 3 different spots.
So I honestly haven't actually seen it, so I don't know what it looks like. But they did show, like, they put like 3 or 4 stitches, or like they looped it around, kind of like, I guess, just sewing, and attached a labrum to it. So
did they have to disconnect your bicep and pull it all back up?
That I don't know for sure. I know that they said be careful, like when you're doing your little therapy exercises they gave me, because it is connected to the bicep, and which kind of makes me think that they did something. Now I'm getting like muscle spasms today.
Do you have any idea what they did? Because you're not giving me much information. Did you just go in and be like, whatever you got to do, doc, I don't care?
Yeah, he's a shoulder guy. He's one of the best in the area. So,
well, when we went out to dinner before your surgery, I had been listening to a show called Dr. Death.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it. Yeah,
and I wanted to talk to you about the podcast, but after I started listening to the podcast, I'm like, there is no way I'm going to talk to him about this podcast before he goes into surgery. And then I introduced it to my wife, and she's watching it, and she mentions Dr. Death while we're out. I'm like, shh.
That kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
Oh, well,
I figure if it's my time to go in surgery, it's my time to go. I don't really worry too much about it.
Well, for those that don't know what this podcast is, Dr. Death, it's the surgeon. He did a lot of spinal surgery. That was supposed to be his expertise down in Texas.
Yeah.
And in case you want to listen to it, it's like 6 episodes. Without going into much, because it's out there. He operated on 33 different people, and some lost their life. Some lost, couldn't walk. They were restricted to a wheelchair the rest of their life just because of the stuff he was doing. It was insane. The first 2 episodes had me cringing. I'm like, there's no way I can mention this prior to the surgery. I wouldn't feel right about it.
Oh, I wouldn't have cared too much. It's I'll tell you, that first day, it was a little bit of a blur. I remember them giving me a what do they call it now? It's a nerve block, which is like 2 test tubes that's hooked up to a needle that they stick in you in the shoulder, which they numbed it, so that wasn't too bad. They did shave half my body, so it looks a bit awkward. And they had to shave my armpit. I was like, is this the worst part of your job? He goes, yeah. He goes, you're really good about it, though. He goes, most people like throw a fit about it. I was like, well, it's part of the surgery, I guess.
Well, so when they put me under, and it was an outpatient, so you went in, you got your surgery, they checked you out, released you that day. They wouldn't allow me to leave until I had thrown up. and
Oh,
got
see,
that
no, they didn't.
stuff out of my system. Of course, we're talking this surgery
Yeah.
was back in '98, so hopefully things have changed
Yeah,
since then.
yeah, they didn't make me throw up. They did make me eat crackers, which I was kind of a little hesitant towards. I was
Did
like,
you
no,
tell
I
them
only eat protein.
I'm on a carnivore diet. I can't eat crackers.
Yeah. So, and then like that nerve block, they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a little weird. It's gonna be numb. The numbness is fine. The fact that my hand would not operate the way I wanted it to, I literally, I was folding up stuff and I couldn't fold. I had to like throw my hand on it to hold it down while I flipped the other hand. It was pretty entertaining, and it didn't work for like a couple days after that.
So you're lucky, I don't know, that it's your offhand because trying to, I've broke my right arm before, and learning everything left-handed just stinks.
Yeah, I've done collarbone, right, broke both collarbones on the right side, but it was pretty bad. But all in all, I mean, they gave me this nice little ice pack thing that hooks up to a cooler that runs cold water through, and that's the old saving grace right there. Anytime I just hook it up, and it's really nice.
Anytime you start feeling any pain,
Yeah, and I think I used it a little bit more than what I'm supposed to, but I slept with it the first 2 nights.
what
So
kind of prescription did they give you for pain?
they gave me oxycodone, I think.
So I think I was so scared of taking that stuff. I only think I took it like the first 2 days. After that, I just quit taking it.
Yeah, after the first, or I take one at night just to make sure, and then maybe one in the morning, depends on how I feel. But yeah, that first 2 days, I was 4 hours no matter what, because they always said once the nerve block wears off, you're going to be in excruciating pain if you're not taking it. So I took that. I mean, I thought about popping one in right before the podcast, make things interesting. It takes about an hour to take effect though. But I mean, it really doesn't do a lot to me though. So
Yeah, I've just
a little tired, but I don't even really, I've taken like 2 naps in the last 2 weeks, or I mean last week. So
sleeping. Are you able to sleep? Because I'm a stomach sleeper. So
yeah, I am too. So last 2 days I slept in a bed, but the first night I slept on the chair, and then the second night I slept on my other side on the couch. So that's how you're supposed to sleep, but I sleep on my back, and I don't really think you're supposed to, but I have it propped up so it doesn't feel too bad.
So when do you go back? When do you get a checkup to actually start your recovery process?
The first checkup's the 19th, and then I got another one on the 5th of May, so a month out. So hopefully I can start physical therapy the second after the first appointment. I'm really anxious to get back in there, get back into the gym.
Well, so you've had it, and I know you're looking forward to it, but how was living in the camper prior to the surgery, especially with this mild winter you ordered?
Oh, the weather was bad. Luckily I had to do some extra detail, so I actually got to stay at work the first really 2 cold nights. So it wasn't too bad last week or the week before. I mean, so it got down there in the negatives.
Yeah.
So I did, everything was frozen when I came back on that Thursday.
And we don't even have it the worst. I mean, you're further north, like I think Chicago one day was like
well, even
40.
like where we live compared to down southern Missouri is not nearly as bad either, usually. Because, I mean, we haven't really got any snow. I think they've got snow once, and we had 17 inches up here.
Yep. We've even got more ice. Last ice storm. So I was down south, and I came home, and Aaron took out the trash, and because of the ice, our driveway is kind of slanted.
Yeah.
So instead of carrying the trash bags out, she just set them at the top of right at the garage and pushed them, and they slid to the curb.
Did you actually see on social media one of our fellow coworkers is now a what do they call those, like a Facebook sensation, or like
went viral?
He went viral.
No.
Yeah. Well, he's Moberly Police Department, Jamie Howard. So he slipped on ice and
In uniform?
in uniform, mobilely right outside the police station. They recorded it, and I guess they sent it to KOMU, so it's all over Facebook now. And I'm talking like he slipped and bounced his head off one of the cruisers.
I mean, I hate to laugh at that.
Oh, but he did an interview and everything. So yeah, he's officially viral. They made a lot of donut comments, and he's like, I don't even like donuts, which is actually my thing too. I was like, I don't really like donuts. So
Well, I mean, so last year we got a lot more precipitation down south in the form of ice, a little bit of snow, and coming out of the camper, it's those metal
there were
steps.
it was bad that
It's so there's been coming out at night, or you're going in, or you're coming outside in the morning, it's still dark, and when you go back to the camper, it's still dark.
yeah.
And it's just, you're timid. You're just trying to brace yourself so you don't.
Especially if you're
slide.
carrying stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
like
miserable.
yeah, I remember that first snow we had. There was like, I swear to God, it was like 2 inches of ice on those steps. I was like,
And
how?
I went and I started making sure I had a little bit of salt I would throw on there to try to keep them clean. But they're not supposed to hold that much water. But man, they get slick. It's bad.
They do. And there was like no ice on my concrete patio at all. It was just right on the stairs.
And
But
then last year I was supposed to have water all year round, and the water lines broke underground. I woke up one morning and was going to work, and I noticed something sparkling, like bubbling on the gravel parking lot. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh crap. So there went the water the rest of the year. I spent the rest of the time with a 5-gallon water jug in there, and that's how I got by.
yeah, I'm a little bit more wasteful. I just use the bottles that I have. So the wife's going to kill me when she hears this, but yeah, I boil, like if I'm cleaning some dishes, especially since I've started this carnivore diet, I cook a little bit more in the camper. So I'll actually pour like 4 bottles of water in there, and I'll boil it to get hot water and stuff.
To wash. So I went and got those wash basins, the plastic like trays, and one with soap and water, and then one with warm, just clear water for rinsing. And I would, because of the process, I would make sure I had a good amount of dishes to actually wash.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't wasting that much
Oh
water.
no,
But
I'll only wash like a skillet and a spatula and a fork. Sometimes not even a
you're
fork because
wasting
I'll use like
bottled water.
like 4 bottles of water. But yeah, I don't know. It's not so bad. The bed is cold as crap. I leave it folded down. I do have the Murphy bed, and it still does matter. It's like an ice cube as soon as you pop in there.
I
So-
remember sleeping in sweatpants, hoodie,
Yeah.
stocking cap.
Well, I sleep in shorts and a shirt, but yeah, it was.
You got more insulation. That's all I can say.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm cutting.
You better be, because
Huh?
no gym time where you're gonna blow up like a tick.
So like day 3 after surgery, I decided to step on the scale, see where I was at. I was up 4 pounds. I started flipping out. I was like, all this work, because I dropped, I think the final number was like 19 pounds in a month. And I was like, oh man, I'm up 4 pounds. And weighed myself yesterday, and I'm back down. So maybe, I don't know.
So, are you just cutting calories? The amount
Yeah.
of food you eat?
Well, I had Chinese buffet today. So
And
not-
so it begins.
I'm still on that intermittent fasting though, like crazy. but yeah.
Once it hits the lips, it's so good.
I didn't do horrible at Chinese really, but I'm definitely full, and that'll probably be my one meal for the day. But all in all, I mean, it's going pretty good surgery wise. I would like to bring in like one of my favorite segments that we used to do a few times, shower time with Landon. So having surgery,
You got to keep that one arm out.
well, I couldn't take a shower. Today was my first day taking a shower. Let me tell you.
Were you supposed to, though?
Well, they said day 5. So it really depends on what you figure day 5 as. I figured day 5 as the 5th day. The nurse apparently
So
told my
you had one
wife
more
day
day.
0 was the surgery day.
Yeah.
I was high. I don't remember that. So we're going with my recollection. So I actually did keep it pretty much out of the shower just in case. I left the bandages on. They're wrapped like waterproof. So I'm not really too worried about it. Tomorrow I'll take out the bandages, but I've been taking a bath before that. And it always seems like I take a bath right after somebody takes a shower. So the water's always cold. You're a 200-pound man in a regular size tub, which is better than the camper tub.
Yeah, the tidal wave tub. We'll just keep it there.
But yeah, it was a bit awkward drying yourself off with one towel. So
how many towels does it take you to dry off?
With one hand, I'm sorry. That's also very difficult, especially like trying to get on the left side, or like if you're trying to dry yourself off with the right side, but you can't use your left hand. Makes things very awkward. And I'm constantly getting yelled at my wife. Don't lift it. You're lifting it. You're lifting it. You know,
so she doesn't
Michelle,
come in
it's
there
not really that easy, okay?
She doesn't come in there and dry you off?
No. She was nice for like, she was nice for like the first 30 minutes.
No sympathy for you.
Not really. But I am trying to be.
Let's be honest. What kind of sympathy do you give your wife?
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to be more independent, and it's also making her more mad because, like, she's like, well, stop doing everything for yourself. Well, you figured I'd be a whiny baby, so I'm trying not to be a whiny baby when I do have surgery. So I'm trying to be the bigger man. I really am. But
by a bigger man,
the 4 pounds plus of surgery weight. No, I really am excited. Been to the gym twice. I snuck off Wednesday. I had my dad drop me off at the gym secretly. That's another definition on day 3. What is day 3? Is it Thursday or is it Wednesday? We decided on Wednesday. So I cannot walk on a treadmill. That's 100% sure. That hurts horribly.
Yeah.
So, but I did the recumbent bike. Not really a great workout, but I did an hour or so. And then Friday or this morning, did that. I actually did walk a little bit on the treadmill, not so bad, but I did 15 miles on the bike. So I feel like, and it feels better. There's a lot of rubbish between the sling and my large abdominal area that first day.
Get a little cherry.
I don't know if I got like the heat sweats. I even had to call the doctor too because like my skin turned purple, like the bad circulation. And I thought I was dying, but he said I was good. So guess what? I'm still here. Episode 23 going to come at you next week.
So I don't know. It's still too early to tell.
It's been a journey. It really has. Do want to add one more point. I know I'm talking a lot. I usually do. I've never been so hateful in the gym in my entire life. And I think it's because I'm jealous of people now. Like, normally, if they want to do whatever they want to do in the gym, I'm not judging. You know, at least you're in the gym. Fine by me. I'm not a foreign police or anything. Probably wouldn't have surgery if I was a foreign police. No comment.
No, if we've already been down there.
But like,
you're an idiot.
I'm sitting there on the little bike, and this woman is just taking her sweet time on the stair climber. I was like, I wish I could get on that stair climber. How about you pick it up a little bit? Okay? Or like, they're sitting there on their cell phones on the bike. Hey, oh, it must be nice.
It's social hour for them, all right?
Oh, there was like 2 16-year-olds this morning. Yeah, that's great. You got up at 6 o'clock and go to the gym. Well, how about you get off your phones and work out? You're there to work out. So, and I get some stares when I walk in with the
probably. Like, what is this fool doing?
I've seen other people in the slings there.
Pretty sure he's not supposed to be here. So, you'll be on the road to recovery soon because we've got to get back to the axe throwing that we went on.
Yeah, that was fun. And I kind of didn't really realize it at the time. Well, I mean, it was like a little impromptu trip after we had dinner on Saturday. But the axe throwing, I didn't realize I wasn't going to be able to do that 3 days later. I mean, I did, but I didn't really,
So for the folks that don't know, in Columbia, and I know there's one in St. Louis, and there's probably
they're
all
popping
over,
up all over the place now.
But you go and there's lanes, kind of, I guess, similar to a bowling alley that you get assigned, and targets like a big dartboard. And you take your axe and you
throw it.
chuck it.
It's a lot harder than what it looks.
Sometimes it bounces all the way back towards you. Don't catch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bounces toward the people next to you. Watch out. And then there's, so the axes we're throwing, they're hatchets essentially. They're about 12 inches long. Probably weigh, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 pounds. Yeah. Not very heavy. And we're throwing from a distance of probably anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
Well, they also have this double-sided axe that's probably, I don't know, 3.5, 4 foot long. And at that short distance, when you throw it, you lift up on that handle
and it kind of
at
flips
the same
the
time to
opposite
flip
way.
it.
Yeah.
And there was this one kid next to us that they gave it to him, and they were giving him directions on how to throw it. And then the next thing I know, I hear bam, 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 and then
I
the
saw it
dude's
hit.
holding his head.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I saw it hit his head.
did he just hit himself in the head with his axe?
He did. I'm guessing, I didn't really feel the sharpness of them, but I'm guessing they're somewhat blunt.
Oh, but still.
But it's still a metal object hitting you in the head that's got a pointy end.
And
so.
it's BYOB, so people bring in as much alcohol as they want.
Which is also a horrible idea.
And let's throw axes, which...
This kid was probably underage, so he probably wasn't drinking.
Yeah, no, he was there with family and just enjoying a good family outing. But you can throw axes. We also got to throw some Ninja Stars.
Ninja Star.
That's right.
Can of chewing tobacco? No, says I.
And some daggers.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. I think the girls enjoyed it. Your wife has a better arm than she showed there. She wouldn't really chuck it. She kind of
I told her not to throw it that hard because, like, if you hit it in the wrong way, the harder you throw, the harder it comes back.
Yeah, just let her rip. That's what I say.
Let her rip, tater chip.
And there was a few times where my wife hit halfway between the target and the wall.
Yeah.
And I think there was a time your wife almost
hit
threw it
above
the target.
Yeah. That one happened. I underthrew it a lot at first because I was, cautious.
And then what cracked me up is you throw one, and then you'd whip around and look at us like, yeah, I did that.
I'm cocky. What do you want from me?
And then there's times that you throw 3 Ninja Stars, and let me say they had 5 points, and you didn't stick one. Yeah.
I did like the double-sided, like, hatchet kind of thing, that latter one. I did like those the best because they give you 2 opportunities, and they're bigger points, so more chance to stick.
It was, last minute we walked in. Hey, can we get on a lane? We shared a lane with 2 different sets of couples. And, it was a good time. It's something different. I don't know if it's something that I'd want to go do every day. They do have leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be very good at that.
But it's definitely fun and
no, it was a good time.
Good stress relief. You can go up there and.
You caused me to be an alcoholic again.
I don't see how.
Actually, you didn't cause me. The fact that they had mead.
Yeah.
And I have been sticking on a goal. I have been sticking to no soda, so I haven't drank any soda since December 31st.
Well, so how was that mead compared to Boattown Brewery?
Well, it was the same mead. First chance I got, I didn't, it was warm, so I put it in a couple of ice, so it kind of watered it down. But, I think it's pretty comparable. Yep. I mean, it is the same mead. It's just bottled up in can versus through tap. But I've been watching some moonshiners, so we're going to make us some mead.
I got the carboy. We can, and the burners and the
We're going to do this. I'm going to use my left hand. It's going to be great. But... No, but what?
I told Scotty that I'd do that next time he went. But like a drum,
You're so ridiculous. This is a very impromptu. I was actually, when I called you yesterday or texted you yesterday, I thought we were just going to scrap it, and then you hit me up again and you're like, okay, we'll record Friday. So now I'm glad that we're recording Friday. Yesterday I felt miserable. I thought I was gonna die. But
You would not give up on Monday after the surgery. No, let's do it. Let's do it.
no, I would have been game. Like it would have happened. I would have been fine because I didn't go to sleep for another hour and a half. So I mean, honestly, it would have been amazing.
No.
Or it would have been amazeballs.
No.
Yes.
There is no.
I wasn't that lippy, but yeah, I was definitely cocky in that hospital room. I don't think the nurses really like me.
Was the wife mad at you afterwards?
Oh, she's like, you're an idiot, but gotta stick my grounds. But yeah, it was. Oh gosh, would you stop doing that? You're incorrigible. That's word of the day.
Incorrigible?
Incorrigible. But either way, see, I didn't do the other way. I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it, even though I haven't had a happy pill in a while.
Yeah,
but
I'm surprised that you're pushing as much as you should, because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt.
I'm not pushing. What are you talking about? I got my sling on right now.
I see it sitting on the table right next to you.
As
Michelle?
far as my wife knows, I have. Dude, my kids straight up ratted me out.
They do that.
Like, they're laughing, and I'm like, would you stop it? And their big thing is like, oh, who made a mess here? Oh, Casper the ghost did. That's always been their saying even since they've been a little kid. I was like, well, Casper took off my sling. Well, those two idiots, I love my kids, but idiots, cannot keep a secret to save their life. And they got the biggest grin on their face.
Well, yeah, they get a
like
chance
me.
to burn dead.
And so I was like, they're just laughing because I took the sling off today. And they're like, that's not the only time he took it off. He took it off like all day long, which is not true. But
well, so the weather's bad. We talked about this in the camping, and so I got proposed a question the other day, and I'll propose it to you.
yeah.
So, should it be illegal to warm your car in the winter with the keys in it? There's a city in Missouri that's considering this. And there already may be cities that
I've actually had a friend that lived on down the road. He had a work truck and he got it stolen one morning. He turned it on and worked for a tree company, and they actually took it and wrecked it. And so, I mean, I have a remote start now, so it's a little different.
The question is it not safe? That's not the question. The question is, should they make it illegal?
No, they shouldn't make it illegal. I mean, yeah, you probably shouldn't do it because you have a chance of getting your car stolen, but it's no different than unlocking your doors in your house.
I don't know why they're making it illegal. I mean, anyone can. You don't necessarily have to have a set of keys to steal a car. Makes it easier.
Yeah.
But
I
mean, it's a crime of opportunity because they see it. Oh, hey, doors unlocked, keys in it. Let's go. Versus, oh, doors locked, no keys. Let's just move on to find the easier target. But so my question is why is it considered illegal? I don't see the point in it.
No, I don't. I honestly don't really see the point in it being illegal. I mean, stupid maybe because you have a higher chance of getting your car stolen. I think insurance should take that in fact if you leave your car open. I mean, that's just gambling with, I mean, that's just part of it.
But when it's negative degrees or single digits, to sit out there while your car warms is miserable.
Let me tell you, this is the first vehicle I have my remote start on, and it's the greatest thing in the whole world. I've never had a remote start. I mean, I've drove my wife's vehicle with remote start and stuff. Her last couple of vehicles had it, but I've never had it, and it's a lifesaver. The only thing that sucks is if you like to are you a leave it on empty and I'll fill up the next morning when I head to work type of person?
I've done it, but I don't do much.
Do you usually fill up before you hit low fuel?
Yeah.
Well, on my car, if you do the remote start, if you have low fuel, like even it goes on at like 50 miles out, I think, or 40, Yeah, your remote start won't. It'll turn on and it'll turn off.
Well,
So
my dang truck the other day, check engine light popped on. Well, when you have a check engine light pop on, remote
it
start won't work either. I'm like,
yeah.
dang it. And I know, I have a feeling it's probably had something to do with my gas cap and it tripped something, or it's an O2 sensor, but it's so frustrating.
It is. And especially when you think it's going to be warm when you get out there. I don't know if that happened to you. That's happened to me with the low fuel. I was in the camper. It was cold. Remote started it. I heard it start because I'm right outside the door or right inside the camper. And then I go out and the windows are still frosted.
So not everyone's got remote start.
Yeah, no.
I think they should have the ability to go out and start their rig.
Yeah, definitely.
Let it warm up
I don't think
and not
it should
have
be
to
illegal.
sit in it.
People are getting so sensitive nowadays, but we're not going to get in that. It's just the stupid stuff I see all the time.
Well, it was a question posed to me, and I'm like, oh, this is silly. I don't agree with it. Yeah. I don't know the reason behind it. I don't know why they suggested it. I don't know if it's some type of hazard. Maybe in St. Louis where they've got all the, car garages.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an issue in garages.
I've seen videos of people, as soon as they open up the car garage, somebody will carjack them. So I've seen that multiple times too on Facebook and stuff. But you're going to keep doing this. My favorite videos are the doorbell videos with the video camera, and then they do stuff to the packages to like booby trap them. Those are always good.
I'm thinking about getting that.
The little doorbell thing?
Yeah. I don't know. You
Camera.
use one? You know anyone that does?
But I have a live-in home nanny, so he pretty much is here all the time.
He just takes care of stuff.
Which is horrible when you're on leave for your shoulder.
Well, I figured you was going stir crazy, but you've got him making runs for you.
Yeah.
He
took me up, to Jeff City today. And mostly
taking you out for Chinese and taking you to the gym.
My wife knows I would drive if he wasn't available.
Listen.
So,
of course, my wife had a different surgery, but when she had
LASIK's different. Like, it's not affecting my eyes. I just want to point that out.
Well, depends on what drugs you're on.
Well, but I'm pretty much off the drugs, so
you may have a relapse and go back on.
Relapse.
She thought she was able to drive, and she was seeing double. I'm like, you were seeing double, and you thought you'd be able to drive? So she goes to back out of the garage, and what's she do? She runs over UP's golf clubs.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying that this might just have happened just solely because of her. I'm not saying that. I just want to make that clear. That is not what I'm saying. I do not believe that women can drive better than men or men can drive better than women. But maybe.
No, she couldn't see.
It's like...
That's a huge deal.
Maybe. I mean, just think about it. One day a year, they pull the whole bridge off on Bennett Springs and they let women fish. Just saying. One day a year.
I'm not commenting on this because you seem to bring out your comments bring out the...
Well, you just called your wife out for driving with
she calls herself out.
Well, I'm just saying.
But I didn't say it's because she's a woman.
I didn't say that at all. I made it very clear that it's not.
You just said something about women fishing and the bridge going out.
That is not what I'm saying.
But that's what you implied.
I don't know what you're talking about implying. But either way, I think this is the end of it. It was fun doing a podcast, but go ahead. It looks like you have something to say.
The end of this episode number 22, not the end of the podcast.
This is the end of the podcast, as long as he does not allow me to speak my mind.
I didn't say you couldn't speak your mind.
It's just like I constantly get looks. I'm going to start cussing on this. I wouldn't have. I know the reason why you didn't let me record on Monday because you thought I would be a little bit more loose-lipped than I normally am.
Yeah.
Well, usually the way I am versus how I am on the podcast. But I promise I wouldn't have. But either way, we're over our 30-minute cap, so I'm not going to give you a high five. I just want to clear that right now. I don't want to jar my shoulder anymore. But socials?
Yep. So we're out
Not
on
social security number.
Instagram
Socials.
at the Geo Bachelors. We're on Facebook, the Geo Bachelors.
Podcast.
Podcasts, on all of them.
Yeah,
Wherever you
but-
see them on either your iPhone or iHeart,
Yeah.
Spotify, and half a dozen others. Wherever you see podcasts, you can probably find us.
Yeah. If not, let us know.
Speaking of which, I think Spotify bought 2 other podcast forums. So hopefully, if things go right,
Oh,
we'll be on a couple more.
Yeah, maybe. And then also, if you want to listen to more podcasts, I don't know if we talked about this one, but Dirty John, it's been out for a while. Definitely recommend that podcast.
Oh,
it's something I've been, I don't know if I talked about it here or on any of the podcasts, but I listened to it a couple weeks ago. It's a good one. So there's a TV show too.
Yeah, it's on Bravo or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But definitely good one.
All right, folks.
All right, we're out.
Have a good one.
All right, ready? Out.